okay, let's stop coaching for a minute. Let's take 10 minutes and do a little, we'll talk in a consulting, mentoring kind of way.
Right.
And after that amount of time, let's decide if we want to go back into the coaching or not. But I don't want my client to think that I'm a mentor to them. I don't want them to think I'm their consultant. You know, as a second brain, as a thinking partner in the relationship,
Right.
it is not my job to tell somebody what to do.
Right. You just what do you say that a conduit. You just connect them to what they already where they want to go, and you create a pathway for them. Now, how do you ensure lasting results? Let's just say you've been working with an executive for 6 months.
Mhm.
How do you give them feedback? Because sometimes I can only imagine, even with a brand new entrepreneur you're working with, everybody have an ego, everybody have a chip on their shoulders, and when you give them the feedback, some people may take it the wrong way, some people take it very well. How do you ensure you give them feedback and you receive feedback from them as well? And also, how do you make sure that the results are lasting?
Well, that is not always easy. That's a tricky thing. So I will say this: when I'm in a coaching session, we're always going to establish a goal for the session. What is the goal for this session? So what outcome do we want to achieve? And we'll spend an upfront, what do we want to achieve? Because if we don't set a goal, then we're just having a conversation that why would you pay for that? But then again, I'm not going to coach you either. If we don't set a goal, what am I going to coach you on? So we set a goal every session. We work for 20, 30, 40 minutes, depending on how long the session is that the client wants. And then I will check in periodically throughout that time. Are we going in the right direction? What direction? Where do we go next? Where do we go next? We have 10 minutes left. Where do we need to go to achieve our goal? So reminding the client that they don't want to get off track. They don't want to try to introduce something new. And if they do, they do. That's okay. Then we go that direction. If we have to extend a session, we will. But at the end, we always check in. So the accountability comes in. Where are we? Did we meet the goal? And to what extent did we? And if we get to that point where they say, yes, we met the goal, excellent. What are you going to do moving forward? What is the first step? What's the tiniest step? What do you want to experiment with this week that will help reinforce the goal we just achieved?
Right.
And then it's up to them to do the work. Most coaching happens in between sessions, not during the breakthrough happens during the session, but the actual work happens typically between the sessions. And so it's up to them. And quite frankly, when we meet next week, I don't follow up and say, hey, how did you do on that thing? Because they may not have had an opportunity to address it or act on it in any way. And I don't want to make my client feel bad right at the beginning. And I'm not here to make you feel good about the session. You typically will, but it's up to them to bring it to the table. If they don't want to talk about it, they don't have to. And if they want to celebrate and say, oh my gosh, I did this thing, I'm like, awesome, fantastic. What are we doing today? I love it. Congratulations.
I love it. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to want to work with you. And I like the idea of having a plan up front, because it's like setting a target. If you don't have a target, you cannot hit a target you did not set. And setting the goal is the target, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
Now, working with entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs are a very different animal. They've